Hello everyone and welcome back into the Six Hockey Studios. Jaden Ho alongside Jordan Jacklin as we get you set for a round 2 matchup between the Mississauga Rebels and the Toronto Marlboros. Sure to be a fascinating series as we get ready for game 1 here. Let's talk about the goaltenders, Daniel Giusti and Jaden Nelson, going head-to-head in net.
Yes, well, we know as playoff series go, both goalies will likely be used. But for game 1, for the Marlies, they're starting off with Jaden Nelson, who's been a premier goaltender at this U16 level this season. Really just fluid in his net. He has a great defensive structure in front of him, but he's now going up against the tall task with the Rebels in front of him as well. So for Daniel Giusti, he has a pretty good defensive structure as well, but he's a bit more of an athletic goaltender and will definitely be tested by these star power on this Marlies team.
Well, speaking of star power, let's talk about some defensemen on both of these teams. They both have D-men who like to move the puck up the ice. Let's start by talking about Nolan Turnbull of the Toronto Marlboros.
Yeah, he's a big-body defenseman, can walk the blue line, and really likes to cut to the middle of the ice. Really deceptive in terms of his puck handling and skating ability, and overall just the type of player that's really going to be just difficult to stop, and in terms of defensively as well, a real two-way player, and I think he's going to be a force in this series.
And on the other end, a similar style defender who doesn't have quite the size, Kyle Secco, the 5'10" mobile D-man.
He doesn't have this size, but he has the quickness. And in terms of just getting pucks to the net and finding those lanes through traffic, he's going to make it difficult, and he's going to be on that first power play, can quarterback a man advantage. And I think he's just really going to be great. Feeding the puck to Ethan Chada, that's going to be his main role, and just trying to get as many shots as he can.
Well, speaking of Ethan Chada, he's going to be a game breaker in this series. On the other end, we have William Moore, who's also going to be crucial for the Toronto Marlboros. Lots of offensive talent, both up front and on the blue line here. It's sure to be a fascinating series between the Marlboros and the Rebels. Game 1 is next from Six Hockey. Hello everyone and welcome into Herb Carnegie Arena. Jaden Ho alongside Jordan Jacklin as we get set for a round 2 matchup between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels. Sure to be a fascinating series. 2 stacked, talented teams going head-to-head here in round 2 of the GTHL playoffs.
Oh, for sure. You're going to see William Moore going up against an Ethan Chada. Jeremy Martin was electric in round 1 for these Marlies. Lots of talent on display, and let's see how they stack up.
As round 2 is underway in the GTHL playoffs, and on a quick rush there is stepping in was Jeremy Martin for an early chance. Knocked down at the line there by Del Elche, but couldn't hold on to the puck. Marlboros carried it back in, but they're offside as Matthias Stark carried it in a step ahead.
And off the opening draw, it's an early rush chance for Jeremy Martin, who we just mentioned. Tries to go short side, but it was Daniel Giusti ready to make the save.
Face-off will come just outside the Marlboro zone, and scramble on the draw, and it's won back here by the Rebels, And on the forecheck, here's Martin. Martin dropped it off for Moore. Carries it down to the corner. Under pressure down low. Forces it ahead there. Martin has it back. Martin reverses it down for Stark. Around the boards and a centering pass. Scores! It's Matthias Stark on the board early. The Marlboros have the 1-0 lead.
And it's the Toronto Marlboros who established the cycle early on. And Matthias Stark just heads to the net and gains inside positioning to earn that redirect. And all of a sudden, the Marlies find themselves with the icebreaker goal.
Just a little tap in, and the pass from the corner converts. So now Kieran Witowski will come out as the Marlboros try and follow up. A good, strong opening shift. Drop back, and here's Moore. Smith fires it in deep. Behind the net and ringing it around the boards there was Giusti. Puck trickles all the way back into the neutral zone now. Marlboros recover and is poked ahead by Smith. Collision there is Witowski. Lane got run into. Now the Rebels trying to go back to the attack, but it's taken away, and Smith has it on the near side. Smith up into the middle, and onto the attack goes Lane. There's Witowski with a shot that goes just wide. It's going to come to the far side now. And they'll battle for it along the half wall. In there's Jason Joe trying to dig it free. Still loose there. It'll trickle down to the corner. Back in behind the net. And Rebels will try and slowly start up with it. Tipped ahead into the offensive zone, but icing the call. And we'll get a whistle and a face-off all the way back.
And for the Rebels now, they just want to establish some pace to their game, try to regain possession, and just try to find themselves in the offensive zone more, playing with the puck. They've allowed the Marlies just to really play to their advantage stylistically, and they need to try to find their advantage in their own way.
As now the Rebels will try and get started offensively. Tipped into the offensive zone. Back to play it behind the net is Nelson. There's a collision down low, but the Marlboros escape their zone. Out through the neutral zone come the Marlies. Drop back pass. Here's Katzen trying to cut in. Couldn't get it to the net. Puck still loose there as they jam away at it. Backhand try. That goes just wide, and the rebound will be cleared away here. Over the line come the Rebels. Sent in behind the net. Back for it. There's Moore. Moore cleared it, but couldn't get it out of the zone. Now the Marlies will get another try. Sent down to the corner here. Back in behind the goal. Into the corner it comes. First bit of offensive zone play here for the Rebels as it comes to the line there. Turner holds it. Lost it to the line now, and the Marlies will get another chance to escape. Out into the neutral zone comes Toronto. But they're forced back here. Sent across, and onto the attack comes Toronto. Around the boards and into the corner. And they're battling for it to start. Battle for it comes around the net once again. Clearing attempt here for the Rebels as Martin was in there forechecking. And now the Rebels will have to try the other side. Mississauga trying to get into the offensive zone here. Chipped up off the boards. But they're turned back at the line. Puck sent ahead, and now it's backhanded in, but turned back at the line of the Marlboros there. Delelche sends it across. Onto the attack goes Toronto. That long pass out of the reach of Jeremy Martin, and will come all the way back down on the icing call.
For the Rebels now, they get one of their very first offensive zone faceoffs of this period. And ultimately, you're going to see Sean Gostikin take the draw out there with Leighton Lynn. Some of their depth matchups here. And they try to just win the draw and set up formation.
Face-off is won back to the line. Sent around the boards there. Onto the near side. And Toronto will come away with it. Cleared out. Backing up with it here. Van Gelder. Sent it across. And the Rebels get it out. All the way down the ice it goes. No icing to come on this play. Smith plays it back behind his own goal. Smith dropped it off for his defense partner. And now up with it comes Kieran Witowski. Witowski on the left wing, and that shot goes wide. It's going to come all the way around. Sabatini holds the line. Drop back to the corner. Now back behind the goal. Here's Joe. Joe battling for it along the half wall. Trying to dig this free. Comes around the boards again. And the Rebels get it first. They'll have a chance to escape the zone here. Lane in there trying to hold it in. But it's going to slip out here past Gabriel Smith, and he'll retreat back to the neutral zone. Sent ahead here. Katzen going to the net. A long shot. Glove down by Juicy, and he'll hang on.
That was a smart play there. Lev Katzen sees traffic in front of him, just tries to put it on goal for a potential deflection, just like their game opening goal, but nonetheless they draw an offensive zone face-off and a chance to sustain the offensive zone pressure.
Waved out of the draw there, and Aiden Lane will step in. One back by the Marlboros, but the Rebels gain it and send it up through the middle. Bounced off the stick, and it'll be cleared out by Turnbull. Turning with it here is DiCarlo. Up ahead into the offensive zone. Drop pass for Catterin didn't work, and he runs into his man. Here's a breakaway chance the other way, in alone. Stopped by Jaden Nelson.
An incredible stop Jaden Nelson closes the 5-hole, turns back around into the butterfly position, and that was the first grade A chance for these Rebels, and they were robbed by number 62.
Rebels will try and keep that momentum up now as they win the draw back. Sent down towards the corner along the half wall. They scrum away for it. Now comes around the boards in behind the net. Chipped up along the wall. Held in at the line now. Into the corner, cleared to the line. And it comes out this time. It'll be sent in deep once again as GTHL gets it ahead. Marlboros turn it right back the other way, but here's a chance coming in. Ahead with it, here's Freeman alone. He shoots! Stopped again on the breakaway by Jaden Nelson.
Curtis Freeman this time has a burst of speed through the blue line and was able to bring it back to his forehand, and Jaden Nelson covers up that 5-hole once again in quick succession, and he's been a brick wall to begin this game.
Scramble on the draw, and the Marlies win it back. In behind the net with it now, and they'll try and get out. Turned over in the corner, though, is a good forecheck here from the Rebels. Earns them another chance with the puck. Still battling for it. Smith is in there. Carried around the net now. To the line. Held there by Haslam, but it bounced over his stick. And now he's under pressure as Matthias Stark has it. Stark drops it off. One-time shot. Stopped by Juicy on the near side now as Moore tried to get that one through, but it was blocked. Turning with it now is Matthias Stark. He's got one already. Sent to the line. DiCarlo with the shot. Rebound loose in front of the goal. They still poke away at it, but it's forced to the corner by the Rebels. Now along the half wall, a long shot, and that's going to be gloved and held by Juicy.
And what a play from Matthias Stark, who scored the game-opening goal in the neutral zone to strip the defenseman of the puck and begin the odd-man attack. Was able to do a bit of a given goal and just head straight to the net, was prepared for a rebound chance. And ultimately now it's the William Moore line drawing that offensive zone face-off. Great start to this series for them.
And they went back for a quick shot that didn't get through the traffic in front as Moore looked to try to get that one through. Out with it now are the Rebels. In behind the goal for it. Sent around by Turnbull. And now the Marlies are away. Drop back to Stark at the line. He's under some pressure. He'll have to battle for it, but the Rebels get it first. On the right wing, they come over the line. The drop back pass. Turning with it here. Sent across at the far point, and that bounced off the stick, and is a race for it. Maybe a break. Here's Stark. Drops it off. And the pass didn't connect. Back behind the net with it. The Rebels regrouping. Across and then sent in deep, and Jaden Nelson will step out to play it. Nelson left it there for his teammate, but the Rebels quickly onto it in the offensive zone. Still battling for it down in the corner here. Coming out with it from the corner, the centering pass didn't connect. Down low again. Sent out in front of the goal. Then that quick pass cleared away, and it's sent down the ice here.
Jaden Nelson had to be careful there, playing the puck. Didn't almost get back in time, and in future instances, the Rebels can make him pay if he doesn't clear that puck sooner.
Toronto recovers here, but bounced off the stick, and there's a sharp angle shot. Didn't get through to the net. Sent out in front now. Out come the Marlies. It's carried ahead here by Aiden Lane. Lane stops, shoots! Glove down by Juicy.
Aiden Lane enters the zone and ultimately surveyed his options. Didn't like what he saw, so he just puts it on goal to earn that offensive zone draw. As we now see some change in lines on both sides. Smart play there by number 11, Aiden Lane.
Cadson in to take the face-off now for Toronto. As it'll come to the right of Juicy, and he wins it back to the line. Knocked down at the point by Sabatini. Puck sent down to the corner. Up top, Sabatini again. Sabatini with a shot, and that ramps up off a stick and out of play.
And the Rebels have been playing a strong game defensively so far as well, really forcing a lot of low percentage plays from these Marlies team outside of the game. First couple minutes, and I think you're going to see this Mississauga team showcase. They can hang with this Marlies team, and they're going to just try to generate some offense as well with this good defensive play.
They've won the face-off and trying to clear here as they'll have to try the near side. Freeman skating back after it, onto it now. Sent it across, but it's picked off. Stepping in for a shot, and that's turned aside. Down to the corner, sent out in front of the goal again. It's going to bounce all the way to the line. Sabatini tried to send that down to the side of the net. Had his man knocked down there, and that's Aiden Lane stepping into his man. Now Katzen has it. Katzen racing onto it here. Trying to hold the zone, but it's going to come out. And the Marlies will have to regroup. Cleared away here by the Rebels and trying to go to the attack, but it's going to trickle all the way down. Nelson stops it, leaves it there. Now it's across. Here's Katzen. Katzen stepping in with a head of steam. Carries it wide. Centering pass right in front of the goal. But it's cleared away quickly by Mississauga.
The speed of Lev Katzen on display. He accelerates in transition, decides to go around to his forehand behind the net, just put it on goal, and nearly snuck through.
Out come the Marlies once again. A long stretch pass didn't work, and icing the call on the play.
For the Rebels, now they get a chance to go back into the offensive zone here. And they're just trying to simplify their game. They have the Cal Secco, Gavin Haslam D pair out. They like to move the puck. Let's see what they can do in terms of their passing ability and just getting pucks onto the net.
Marlies win it. And they're ahead with it through the neutral zone now. Sent all the way down, and icing will be called once again.
And for the Marlies, now they have to be careful of not trying to settle in too much. Try not to generate too many icings because they still only have the 1-goal lead in the opening period. And they can't let themselves play too safe.
As the face-off will come over to the left of Jaden Nelson. It's Ethan Chata out to take it. Tie up on the draw, and the Marlies gain possession. Cleared towards the line, but it's picked off. Quick shot sent towards the side of the goal. They score! Michael Deck has tied the game for Mississauga.
Michael Deck, how do you do? Finding himself in an open lane there to the right of Daniel Giusti, or rather of Jaden Nelson, and was able to poke home that rebound as he was just left uncovered. And we mentioned the Marlies had to be careful with all of these icings that they were generating, and it came back to pay as the Rebels have now equalized this game.
The Marlies win it back as they try and regain their lead. Sent ahead for Aiden Lane. Had that pass intercepted, and now a quick shot from the sharp angle goes wide, and it'll redirect up to the near side. A big collision along the glass there. And now out comes Toronto. Onto the attack along the right wing. But they're turned back through center. Now it's sent in deep. Nelson will play it out for Gabriel Smith. Here's Smith. Sends it across. Now they'll slow it down once again. Smith trying to come up through center. Sends it in deep. Now to play it here. Cleared towards the line, and it'll get out. And Toronto will have to regroup in their own zone. Slowly starting up with it. Good forechecking pressure here from the Rebels. But now the Marlies turn back once again. Still trying to gain the offensive zone. And now a backhand try. Puck comes loose on the rebound. They score! It's Curtis Freeman, and the Rebels have taken the lead.
And look at that. The Mississauga Rebels all of a sudden are generating rush opportunities. And we just saw the player put it on his backhand and generate another rebound on Jaden Nelson. They got the memo. And it was Curtis Freeman crashing the net who was able to bang that home. And now Mississauga has the 2-1 lead in the late goings of this first period.
Just a bang-bang play out of nowhere. The Marlboros had been playing with possession for a while, but a quick strike rush chance for Mississauga is all it takes. Quickly onto the attack come the Marlboros. A backhand try, and that goes right through the crease. Battling for it in here is Stark. There's a collision along the board. Stark chasing after it here. Lane stepping into his man as well. Backhanded ahead. And in behind the net forward is Turnbull. Turnbull's taken down hard as the puck comes to the far side. At the line now, long shot. That didn't get through the traffic. The rebound loose, another shot! Turned aside there as didn't get through the traffic, and now out with it comes Toronto. Maybe an odd man rush. Racing for it here is Moore. And a good defensive play as coming back there was Michael Deck.
An excellent work there by Michael Deck. That's William Moore he's going one-on-one with, who's about 7 inches taller than him. So in terms of Michael Deck being able to skate up with him in terms of straight line speed, great work there by number 28, Michael Deck.
As that puck will trickle right on goal. It'll be stopped and held. And we'll get a whistle here and a face-off in the Rebel zone.
Just to mention, Willie Moore is actually 6'3", and it appears Michael Deck is 5'3". So give or take, maybe the inch is not entirely accurate, but almost a foot difference. So impressive by Michael Deck to be able to keep up in that sequence.
Katzin wins it back for Katerin. Katerin holds it in the corner, sends it out in front of the goal. Now back into the corner. It's picked off, and ahead comes Mississauga. Back into the offensive zone come the Marlboros as it comes to Katzin. Katzin trying to get out in front of the goal. They jam away at it. They score! But this one doesn't look like it's going to count. The net's off its moorings.
And it appears there was goaltender interference on the play. Lev Katzin arguing his case for it, but just crashing the net too hard. Too many bodies in front, and it appears that goaltender Daniel Giusti just wasn't going to be able to make that stop without it being interfered with. So ruling is being made right now.
And we'll keep an eye on it here. Looks like the Marlies are about to go to the power play. As we'll have the face-off to the left of Giusti here. It's one back by the Marlboros. Walking the line now. Sent across by Drajewska. Now Drajewska again at the line. Sends it on to the right wing half wall. Centering pass right in front of the goal. And Delalce was sneaking down there. But now he's got to get back. It's a short-handed 2-on-1. Chata shoots. Turned aside by Nelson. Right back out the other way. Here come the Marlboros. 4-on-2. Drop back pass. Shot stopped. Rebound. Score! And once again, they're going to have one taken off the board. The Marlboros celebrating like they scored, but Giusti makes the stop.
It wasn't super clear what happened on that play. I believe they just generally thought it went in, but I think it was a stop.
Here's Delalce walking the line. Sends it to Drajewska. Drajewska down to the corner. Stepping in, a sharp angle shot. Turned aside as Stark looking for options. Now it's behind the net. Out to Stark. Stark for Drajewska. Drajewska from the line, a shot, rebound! Came loose, and now Delalce. Drajewska one-time shot! And Daniel Giusti will grab the rebound.
And I like this Marlies team just utilizing the flanks on the power play. And they're doing a good job of generating traffic in front of the net. They saw what happened on the Matthias Stark goal. Just put it on net and get traffic in front. Make sure your sticks are up. And generally just try to gain inside position, and good things can happen there. And they're generating rebound chances. So let's see if they can keep it up.
Rebels win the draw. Sent around the boards by Haslam. And this one will skip out to center. So some time off the clock here as the Rebels onto the attack now. Short-handed. Nice move, but Unable to get to the net there was Michael Deck. And now Toronto will start up with it, trying to tie the game on the power play. Driving the net, a shot, rebound, and it comes to the line. Turnbull sends it across. Holding it at the line. Sent across by DiCarlo. To the side of the net, rebound, loose, jamming away at it. And Giusti hangs on once again.
And what an effort. Daniel Giusti did give up that initial rebound, but came to the top of his crease in the butterfly position and gave him no room to work with. Jeremy Martin wondering how did that not go in, as we see some tired penalty killers exit the ice now as we get set to conclude this first period.
Still 30 seconds of power play time on the clock for Toronto as they look to tie the game up. Sent down to the corner. Holding it down low, a centering pass. Cleared to the line. Smith drops it off. Now DiCarlo. Holding it at the point. DiCarlo to Smith for a one-time shot. And that's turned aside, and it'll be cleared down. Out at center, and here's DiCarlo. DiCarlo sends it on to Katzen, and his quick shot. As time expires, it's turned aside. But after one, it's 2-1 for the Mississauga Rebels over the Toronto Marlboros.
And it's been a tale of two stories just in that opening period alone. In the first 5 minutes, it was the Marlies who were dominating rush chance after rush chance. We saw it off the opening draw with Jeremy Martin crashing the net, and it led to a goal by Matthias Stark. But the Rebels were able to counter the systems that this Marlies team was deploying, and eventually they realized they just had to crash the net themselves and just put it on goal and generate rebound opportunities. And ultimately, we saw the likes of Michael Deck score along with Curtis Freeman. So the depth showing up for the Rebels thus far, as both teams are just regrouping with their coaching staffs. And if you're Mississauga, you'd like to just continue what you've been doing throughout that last 10 minutes and just really give yourself a chance to win this game one.
As the goaltenders return to their nets, Jaden Nelson and Daniel Giusti minding the twine in this first game of the round 2 playoff series.
And Jaden Nelson and Daniel Giusti really have been impressive. Just starting off with what Nelson's had to work with, definitely wasn't what he expected. You can cut who's ever edited this.
And we're away here in the second period. Marlboros with just a few seconds left on the power play, but that'll end quickly, and we're back to even strength. The Sabatini takes the pass and sends it up the boards. Sent across by Aiden Lane. Collision down low there as Joe stepped into the corner. Up towards the line. A long shot from Smith. Didn't get through the traffic, and now ahead with it come the Rebels. Onto the attack. Sent it to the middle there as GTHL tried to get that one to the net. And it'll come down to the corner. Up to the line for a long shot. Didn't get through to the net. And Aiden Lane will pick it up and start to try and clear the zone. Good forechecking pressure here from the Rebels. But it's cleared out to center and down the ice. Back behind the net, turning with it. Ahead come the Rebels. Around net and into the corner. Along the boards now. Here's Katzen. Katzen trying to maintain possession. Lost it. And out with it now come the Rebels. Maybe a 3-on-2 on the rush. Sent across. Here's a shot. Chada to the front of the net. They score! Michael Deck converts on the odd man rush. And it's a 3-1 game. Some pushing and shoving after the goal here as well.
The physicality has been established. The Marlies didn't like what happened in the post-goal festivities, but nonetheless, Deck has doubled down in the game 1 of this second round playoff series, and that's just going to the front of the net. He knows when Ethan Chata is the distributor. He just has to get to the open areas, and ultimately the defenseman on the Marlies unable to do anything about it. So as we see Lev Katzen having a combo with the referee, trying to plead his case. Some of this occurred there. Doesn't appear we'll have any penalties on the sequence, and the Rebels now with a 3-1 lead just minutes into the second period.
And I'm not sure if either team's called their timeout here or if they're just convening with the officials. There are still conversations happening at the bench. Neither team has returned to center ice yet.
Well, you have to imagine head coach Richard Power on the Toronto Marlboros is making it clear, just trying to settle his group down and try to get them playing like they did to open the first. This is a very talented team, and they're not necessarily a group that's used to having to face a high quality of competition around the U16 level of the GTHL. So being challenged like this is a bit new. So how are they going to handle this adversity and it's readjust as the game goes?
Marlboros have now returned to center, still waiting on the Rebels here. And with it appears it might have been a trainer checking on Jaden Nelson. That may have been the delay there, but he's back up. So good news for everyone there, particularly for the Marlies, who would very much like to keep their starting goaltender in. As Lev Katzen will take the face-off here in what's now a 3-1 lead for the Mississauga Rebels. Face-off, and Mississauga wins it back. Long stretch pass ahead. Onto the attack come the Rebels. Back down into the corner. Trying to dig it free, and it comes up towards the line. Walking to the line, a long shot! Deflects up it high and wide. As that puck touched the netting, and will get a whistle and a face-off.
And for the Rebels now, what do they do after scoring that goal? Just plant themselves in the offensive zone once again, cycle, do whatever they can, just spend time in the offensive zone and take that time away from the Marlies as much as you can.
Face-off just outside the Marlboro zone now, and on the scramble, it's chipped into the corner there by Tissier. Behind the net, Delelche clears it out into the neutral zone, and the Rebels will try and gain the offensive line again. Verjuska across. And now ahead with it come the Marlboros. Onto the attack, that centering pass try from Brennan didn't work. And now it comes back into the corner. Down low with it, sent to the side of the goal. Behind the net here, Cotterin tries to wrap around. And Juicy grabs that and hangs on.
Good work there, Daniel Juicy. Really just taking away that lane, and ultimately good work by the Marlies to get in those areas. They just have to try it just a bit harder as the William Moore line comes on the ice. Matthias Stark's been potentially the main standout of this team thus far. And just his ability in transition to find that open ice. They need him to come up big once again.
Face off in the offensive zone. Marlboros win it, carried around the boards. And that centering pass try blocked by Juicy again. And he'll hang on.
And Juicy just staying square to his post on that latest sequence. And it's his calm and composure really on display as his game's progressed.
Quick shot from the line. Didn't get through a centering pass. No one was there. As tapping it through his legs was Jeremy Martin. Back down to the corner. And Juicy will grab that one and hang on once again.
And Juicy just knows how to not give up excessive rebound control and is able to just glove it down as much as he can, as he knows there's high talented players on the other side and is just trying his best to limit high quality chances on his own end.
Out with it now come the Rebels after winning that face off, and it's chipped in around the boards. Along the end boards, they try and dig this free. And now turning back with it, sent around the boards again. Reverse to the other side. as that puck bounced over to Jaden Nelson, and he'll hang on to it for a whistle and a face-off.
We'll see some changing bodies on both sides in terms of Gabriel Smith and Sabatini. For the Marlies, Aiden Lane now in the defensive end. A trustworthy defensive trio as the Rebels just continue to try to generate some momentum and are not slowing down anytime soon.
Back into the corner. Ahead with it come the Marlies. Up ahead for Aiden Lane, who's got it now along the right wing. Lane tried to dump it in, but lost it. And now onto the attack comes DeChatelet. DeChatelet, a long shot. Stopped and held by Jaden Nelson.
And transition defense has been effective for the Marlboros when they are on their game and playing well in the neutral zone, because they can limit the Rebels to low danger shots, as we just saw there. And for the Rebels, though, they don't mind it just putting on goal, because then they can draw the face-off and potentially establish themselves with more zone time, as long as they win this face-off like that one.
And they did win it. Van Gelder sends it down along the near side, and that centering pass didn't quite connect. Another try from the other side. Once again, can't get it to go. Sent to the side of the goal. That bounced off a stick. And now the Marlies will come away with it. Starting up from their own zone, here comes Toronto. Turned over, and the call gonna come up here as Cooper Drennan had his stick caught in his opponent's feet, and there's the call. So it's tripping here against the Marlboros, and it's Kieran Witowski actually going to the box here as the tripping is called, and a power play chance for the Rebels to extend their lead.
And just not what you wanted to see if you're the Marlboros. And it was Michael Deck, a standout performance, 2 goals, and just drew a penalty on that sequence just by cutting to the middle of the ice. Was tripped up on the play, and they're forced back out now, but look for 28 here with the puck on the stick, looking to get it back up the ice.
Up through the neutral zone, the Rebels trying to get set up on their power play. Down to the corner. And now the Marlies will get it and try to clear, but they can't do it. Chata held it at the line for just a moment, but now out the other way comes Catterin. Catterin shorthanded, driving the lane. Catterin to the net! Stopped by Giusti! Rebound loose! And Giusti hangs on.
What an effort by number 61, Joseph Catterin, cutting to the outside on Chata, and was able to get himself back to the middle of the ice and generated an own rebound. Had 2 shots on that play, and now the Marlies get an offensive zone draw, and Stark and Martin now get to enter the ice. So great work by the blue and white.
Stark to take the draw here. The Marlies trying to kill off more of this penalty. Sent down to the corner by Turnbull. Up into the offensive zone come the Rebels now. Driving the lane, carried wide, and trying to cut back in behind the goal. They're turned back, stopped at the line now by Deck. Deck sends it down to the corner as the Rebels start to get things set. Up to the line, but it's held in. Here's Deck. Deck holds, drops it back for a shot. Glove, save Nelson.
And post-whistle shoving continues. Cooper Drennan going at it with a Rebel in front of the net, as we're clearly seeing that these two teams despise each other in every way possible, and they took exception to what happened to Jaden Nelson earlier in the game, and we'll now see a line change both sides.
About halfway gone through this power play for Mississauga. Trying to extend their lead here in Game 1 of this second round series. Chipped ahead and a race for it. Maybe a chance shorthanded here for Toronto. Along the left wing with a shot. Stopped by Giusti.
And Giusti once again just comes out of his crease and makes the confident glove stop, as he looked confident on that sequence and just made it look easy. And just great work there by number 31, Daniel Giusti.
45 seconds to go in the man advantage for Mississauga. Toronto has done a good job clearing the puck so far, killing off this penalty, but now Mississauga has it and they'll get things started. Slowly trying to get going here. And now onto the attack they come. Driving the lane, but good defensive play by Sabatini. Slowed things down, sent to the line now. Secco sends it across. Long shot! And through the traffic, Jaden Nelson grabs that and hangs on.
Jaden Nelson making a critical stop with traffic in front of him, as he knows if he allows another goal, it's going to make it even more difficult for his team to come back. And it's just his ability to stay square in the middle of his crease and not overcommit himself, and was able to make the easy save.
Now the face-off is won back in behind the net, sent around the boards by Moore. Now across, a long shot from the point, scores! Tipped in the slot, and it's Ethan Chada, 4-1 Mississauga.
And the stars showed up when it mattered most. Ethan Chada getting to the front of the net, and what did we say? Redirection chances are a premium in this one, and it's Chada finding one himself just by finding that open lane there to the right of goaltender Jaden Nelson, and ultimately now 4-1 lead for these Rebels.
Marlies are going to want to try and get back into this game here before the end of the first period. The second period, sorry, as you don't want to go down into the third down 4-1. Long pass ahead, and now it's sent onto the near side. Fired in deep there as Tissier got it ahead. Up for Drajewska, he lets it go, and it'll be cleared down all the way, and out to play it is Juicy, so no icing on that play. Now the Marlies recover in the corner. Carried in behind the net. Still holding on to it. Now it's on the far side. Sabatini centering pass, and that one didn't connect. Near side now. Along the half wall, they look to get things going. That pass ahead, a little too far, and icing will be called against Mississauga.
And the Marlies now finally generate some offensive zone momentum and find themselves heading back there now. Jeremy Martin getting set to take the one-timer, it appears. He's circled back, so if Stark wins this draw, Martin will try to take a cut back, quick pivot, but ultimately they lose it to the Rebels.
Out with it come the Rebels. They chip it down the ice, a race for it here. Comes down to the corner. And Drajewska will send it out for Martin. Martin dropped it back, but now the Marlies can't escape the zone. Held into the line as Freeman stepped across to keep it in. And the Marlies will get another chance here. A long stretch pass ahead. A race for the puck here, and it's one back into the corner. Wraparound try as Caterin came out in front of the goal. But he was turned aside, and we'll get a whistle here on the play.
And I like this power move by Joseph Caterin, looking for the wraparound chance. Tried to squeeze it through the 5-hole of Juicy, but he wouldn't budge, and ultimately some more post-whistle festivities occur as we get prepared to get back on the ice now with fresh players on the ice.
Face off here to the left of Daniel Juicy. And that's chipped ahead here by the Rebels. Over the line comes Mississauga. Sent around the boards. And in behind the goal now. Trying to get it up towards the line, and now at the line is Miucevic. His shot didn't get through. The rebound on the other side was blocked. Miucevic again holds and fires, and that one didn't get through to the net once again. Cleared out here by the Marlboros. And now a long stretch pass doesn't connect, and it'll come all the way down for icing against Mississauga.
Marley's the beneficiary of another icing calls by some hard work generated in the neutral zone. And we'll see some new players there on the ice looking to generate some chances. Kieran Matowski, Sebastian Del Alce. Let's see what the depth players can prove given this opportunity.
as they battle away for it. It's one back to the line. Now sent across. Drajewska, one-time shot. Missed the net. Rebound comes out right in front of the goal, and they jam away at it. It's held on to once again by Daniel Giusti.
And we know if number 22, Luke Drajewska, he can really wind up a slap shot. Just missing the net there, but it bounced off the boards and came right out in front, and a high-danger scoring opportunity generated there. Just by that face-off win in the offensive zone. Let's see if they can do it twice.
And they have, as it's sent around the boards. Racing onto it here is Drennan. Pinching in from the line there, but now Delelche will have to race back after it. Delelche. Left it there for Drennan. His pass ahead, nearly picked off, but got through, and that chip up goes into the bench as Moore couldn't get it through to the offensive zone.
It's William Moore who stops that from being a turnover by his long wingspan, was able to reach out for it, and ultimately does go out of play there. But there's a lot of highlights associated with William Moore, but he's really good at executing the little plays as well, and that's what makes him a top-ranked prospect in this upcoming OHL priority selection.
Sent across there by Turnbull. He gets the return pass and then sends it ahead for Aiden Lane. Lane pokes it down to the corner for Joe, and he tried the return play. Couldn't get it to go. Rebel went down there, and they wanted a penalty. Not going to come, as he's sent down behind the goal. Now down low, and it's chipped ahead into center. Racing for it here is Chatelet. Lane now at the line, and out with it comes Toronto. Drop back pass, carried down to the corner. Collision down low as Marley's tried to dig it free. Now it's down low again. Cleared around the boards. Battle for it down in the corner. Still trying to dig this free. In behind the goal. As whistle's gonna go here. Penalty to come against the Rebels. And looks like the Marlboros are going to go to their second power play of this game.
And we heard a lot of whistles after the initial save by Giusti. Players now skating back to the bench, as we will see a Rebels player heading to the penalty box right now, being escorted by the referee. And an enormous chance here for the Toronto Marlboros, who are just looking to strike through and make this a 2-goal game and make themselves feel better going into the third period, knowing that they still have a shot in game one.
And they've won the face-off here in the power play, and Drajewska will start things up. Here's Drajewska. Sends it onto the near side. A shot from Stark. Stopped by Giusti.
And Drajewska just surveying his options, ultimately gives it back to Matthias Stark, who's on his forehand there in the right slot, and ultimately put it on goal, but it was an open look for Giusti, so an easy save made.
As we'll get another face-off here, the Marlies hoping to win it again and establish possession, but looks like they're going to need to make a change here. Matthias Stark had a conversation with the official and had to get off the ice. But the Marlies have won the draw again. Drajewska sends it down low. Out from the corner is Martin. Martin sends it out in front of the net, and that puck bounced to the far side. Holding it here. Walking the line is Delelche. Now down to the corner. Carried around, a wraparound try. Rebound loose in front of the goal. And unable to knock it down with Delelche. Now a race for it out to center, and Drajewska had to be sharp there to get it back into the offensive zone. Chipped all the way down here as Marlies will regroup. Sent ahead there. Slowly with it. Turning back in the neutral zone. And now it's sent around the boards once again. Turned back, but now onto the attack come the Rebels. Turning with it in the corner. Sent back out to center as the Rebels rag the puck here, trying to kill off as much time as they can. And now it's in on the attack. Good penalty killing here from the Rebels. There's a big hit in the corner. Mississauga bench didn't like that one. As The Rebels still have possession now.
And ultimately the physicality there on display once again by these Marlboros. Really just, if they can't break through, they'll break their opponent instead. And hopefully now they try to break the score sheet.
Over center come the Marlies. Driving wide to the net for a shot. Stopped by Juicy, and he'll gobble up that rebound. Another great dash up the wing, but unable to convert. It's Toronto.
It was Lev Katzen with a burst of speed through the neutral zone. Tried to go short side on Juicy, but it was a blocker side stop, and ultimately he's just been Mr. Consistency tonight for this Rebels team and has made it very difficult for the Marlies to gain any sort of momentum.
Now it's in behind the net. Bouncing puck in the slot. They jam away for it, but it's going to come all the way back out to center. A race for it, but first onto it there is Matteo Sabatini. Sabatini reverses it back. Penalty is over. We're back to even strength here in the dying moments of this second period. Slowly starting up with it. Here come the Marlboros. On the left wing, they're turned back at center. And now they're onto the attack. Maybe a 2-on-1. Sent to the front of the goal, but unable to convert there as the puck bounces up and out of play. A collision after the whistle there as well, but looks like everyone was okay.
And it was a 2-on-1 where they were trying to get that cross seam pass through, but good defensive work made by the Rebels blue liner, just taking away that lane. As we remain on 5-on-5, will be an offensive zone draw. It looks like Aiden Lane will be taking it.
Face-off is won back by the Rebels, and they'll try and clear the zone. Immense pressure here from the forechecking Marlies. Sent up to the line, a long shot, and that's gloved and held once again by Juicy.
And this is what makes Nolan Turnbull such an intriguing prospect to most, is that he'll receive the pass, and instead of instantly shooting, he'll take 2 strides back and wait it out, and ultimately it didn't work that time with Juicy, but he has a deceptive release that can really fool goaltenders at the GTHL level.
Scramble draw. Comes down to the corner. Walking down in the corner now with it. The Rebels get possession and they'll start up on the rush. Back behind the net forward is Nelson. Nelson sends it out for Joe. Holding onto it here. Now it's sent up through the middle. Backhand pass. Sent ahead, and back for it now is Sabatini. Up ahead, and that's out of the reach of Lane. Icing will be called against the Marlboros.
And just a bit of a broken play there. Aiden Lane tried to recover, but wasn't enough. So the Rebels now have a chance in the offensive zone. We'll have the Ethan Chatelaine on the ice with Michael Deck, the 2-goal scorer of this game, with a chance to really continue the damage inflicted throughout these first 2 periods of play in Game 1.
Chata will take the draw. Getting waved out here is Moore. He's just talking to his teammates. He returns to the face-off circle, and the Marlboros win it. Up ahead with it, here comes Toronto. Off the near side boards, but turned over, and now Drajewska will have to wait before he re-enters the zone. Into the corner now. Sent ahead through center. Turning back with here. Now it's sent in front. Here's Delelcha. He shoots! He fired that one high. Rebound on the other side. A sharp angle shot. Score! Joseph Katerin has put the Marlboros back in this game.
And that's just the spark that these Toronto Marlboros needed, as Joseph Katerin on the left flank just puts it on net with traffic in front screening goaltender Daniel Juicy. Everybody understood the assignment on that play, and suddenly the Marlies have life.
That's a big time for it to come. Final few minutes of this period, and that sets the tone. They'll still need to complete the comeback in the third, but that's a big first step here for Toronto. But First one back by the Rebels. Played back. And now a long pass ahead, sent in deep. Into the corner, a sharp angle shot. Nelson with the paddle down makes the stop. Up with it now, it's sent ahead and across. On the far side. Back with it, here's Smith. Smith sent it to his defense partner, but it was turned over, and that puck nearly found its way in. A long stretch pass ahead here, driving the lane, a backhand try, stopped by Juicy.
We'll see some more pushing and shoving after the fact, but a great burst of speed there to win that battle and ultimately bring it back to the backhand. But Juicy was prepared and didn't want to give up another goal and made a huge stop, really, that could be a turning point in this game.
Face-off will come over to the left of Daniel Juicy as both teams make changes here. Important face-off with the Marlies trying to get back into this game, and Katzen couldn't quite get a stick on that one in the slot. Final minute now of this period. At the side of the goal, it's cleared out here, and the Rebels trying to get in one last rush. Carried ahead, driving the lane, and a good defensive play by Gabe Smith. Shuts that down. Drajewska now. Maybe one last rush the other way. Over the line come the Marlies, and they've drawn a penalty here. So with just seconds to go in the second period, it's going to be a power play for the Marlies.
For the Rebels, you have to be more disciplined in that instance. Just let the player go by you. There's only seconds remaining. You do not need to make unnecessary body contact to interfere with the player. But nonetheless, it's a great opportunity now for the Marlies. Probably won't score with the limited seconds that are remaining, but they'll get to begin the third with the power play.
And that'll be crucial as they try and build momentum to pull off a comeback. You can see they're all lined up, prepared to get a one-timer away. But it's not going to work as time winds down. So, with 15 minutes left to play, it's a 4-2 lead for the Mississauga Rebels over the Toronto Marlboros in Game 2 of this Round 2 series. Game 1 of this Round 2 series.
Yes, and the Marlies were able to find life at the end there, but it was still the Rebels dictating the pace of play. Michael Deck found the back of the net for the second time tonight, and Ethan Chada was able to redirect it as well, with Joseph countering, giving the spark that the Marlies needed, just throwing it on goal. That appears to be all that can really beat Daniel Juicy in this game thus far.
Well, that's all for now. We'll be back after this intermission with the third period here between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels. Welcome back into Herbert Carnegie Arena. Jaden Ho with Jordan Jacklin. Third period just moments away here between the Toronto Marlboros and the Mississauga Rebels. It's 4-2 Mississauga thus far as we line up at center. The Marlboros with a power play going into this period will try and get back within one. And they'll get started on the offense here. But they've lost the puck in the corner, driving the net for a shot. A shorthanded chance early for the Rebels. Just slowly starting things up now are the Marlboros. Carried ahead here by Stark. Stark driving the net. Matthias Stark carries it around the goal. Sends it up to the line. Now across. Moore with a shot. And he sent that high and wide. Now Delelche has it. Delelche drops it off for a shot. And that was just deflected wide. And now Aiden Lane holds it and then sends it up for Delelche. Delelche for Moore. Moore shoots. Stopped. Rebound. And Lane trying to wrap that one. Couldn't get it to go. Lane pokes it off. And now Stark has it. Stark for Delelche. Back to Stark. Stark holds and then sends it down to the corner. Takes the return feed and then sends it across. Here's Moore out in front of the goal. And that puck just missed the deflection. Delelche. Moore holds, sends it into the corner for Lane. Lane walks out from the corner, sends it out in front of the goal. Katzen jamming for it, and he couldn't get that one to go. It'll be cleared down by the Rebels. So good chances there for the Marlies on the power play as they make changes here.
The most dominant that Willie Moore has looked tonight was in that latest sequence on the power play. Was a puck distributor and was doing it all on the ice there. Matthias Stark up to 5 shots on the night as well.
Here's Smith feeding it across. Now a long pass through the neutral zone. Turning back with it here. Smith at the line. Chip down to the corner. Back up top. Here's Smith. Penalty's over. Smith shoots. Couldn't get that one to go. Martin in the corner now. As they battle for it down low. Martin carries it out of the corner. Sends it down low. Centering pass attempt. Bounced off a skate. And now it's to the line. Smith fires that down to the corner and around the boards. Back down low now. Battle for it along the end boards. As Joe steps into his man in the corner. Now Smith turns and fires, and that puck blockered away. Puck reversed down low once again. Rebels onto it. And Juicy will grab it and hang on here early in the third period.
And now that we're back on 5-on-5, the Marlboros have not slowed down. They're still attacking the net, trying to cycle the puck high to low, and they're starting to generate higher levels of shot volume, but they're going to need to up the quality and really drive to the middle of the ice if they want to prevail and perhaps make this a one-goal game.
Puck trickles all the way back down into the Marlies' end. And now Caterin sends it ahead. It bounces off a skate, and now the Marlies will have to restart. Marley taken down there. That was Witowski going down, but no call coming. And now it's going to bounce off a stick and into the bench, so we'll get a face-off.
And overall, just a bit of an unfortunate bounce there in that latest sequence, but should be fun. As we see the Ethan Chatelaine re-enter the ice here, looking to settle down this momentum generated by the Marlies. And Jeremy Martin had a really good, strong opening minutes of the first. Hasn't been as noticeable as the game progresses. I want to see what number 19 can do here, as this Marlies team is desperate for offense.
Shadow won the drawback, but the Marlies win the puck. Pass up the right wing, tipped in deep. Caterin racing onto it here, and he gets to it first. Cleared to the line here by the Rebels, but quick shot. It's turned aside, and Juicy will hang on here.
Some extra shoves on goaltender Juicy after the fact, but that's just being aggressive and trying to get to the net. They're trying to poke home at any rebound possible, but the Rebels took exception to that.
As we wait for the face-off once again. Scramble draws. It's one ahead here by the Rebels, and onto the attack they come. 3-on-2. Drop back into the middle, but that's picked off. Down low now. Carried around behind the goal. Turning and firing there. And that shot turned aside as Jaden Nelson stays tight to his post.
And Jaden Nelson needs to be huge as his period progresses. He cannot afford to allow a single more goal into the back of the net. And you saw his swift crease movements on that play. Remember, he was a bit banged up earlier after being collided with a Rebels player, and it appears he's just fine after making that stop.
Face off in the Marley zone now, and the Rebels win it. Carried towards the front of the net, centering try, and no one was there to tap that one on goal. And now Joe will carry it ahead into the offensive zone for Toronto. Jason Joe holds the puck, carrying it wide, sends it to the line. Now across, here's Smith, shoots, blocked, and now he's going to get back as out the other way come the Rebels. Race for the puck, and it's going to go all the way down. Icing called against Mississauga.
And overall, that's not what the Rebels wanted. Just trying to utilize their speed in that instance, but for the Marlies, they'll take it. It's William Moore not getting another chance after thriving on his latest shift on the power play. It's now back on 5-on-5. What can number 16 do to put the team on his back and generate more chances like he is right now?
Quick chance in front of the goal. They jam away for it. Still loose. And Juicy sprawls out to make the save. What a chance off that face-off for the Marlies.
What an incredible stop. Daniel Juicy going full splits to make that stop on William Moore. as it's like he was hearing what I was saying. He was able to win that draw and immediately make a quick pivot, go from forehand to backhand, but was denied by Juicy.
Conversations happening before this face-off, as it looks like we're all set now. Moore will take it once again. Wins it back for Aiden Lane. Lane holds, turns, carries it down to the corner, and drops it off behind the net. Around the boards it goes now. Lane has it at the line. He shoots, and that's turned aside. There's a big collision down in the corner as the Rebels carry it out now. Physicality very evident in this game. Behind the net. Sent ahead. Through the neutral zone come the Rebels. As that pass ahead is called just offside at the Marlboros line.
And I like that work on the breakout by the Rebels defenseman there. In terms of Gavin Haslam, just waiting out his options, not forcing a pass up, reading the play and saw an open man, and overall did lead to an offside in that sequence. But just being smart on your breakout, not forcing the play, but reading the play is crucial.
DeCarlo sent it across, and onto the attack come the Marlies. Into the corner, a pass into the middle evaded everyone, and it's going to trickle all the way back down into Toronto territory. Ahead with it, but good play at the line, and the Rebels regain possession. Down into the corner now. Sent up the boards. And now across the blue line, a long shot. Gloved down and held by Jaden Nelson.
And Nelson there, how that puck got redirected on him in front of his net, but overall was able to adjust accordingly and make the stop as we see changing bodies on both sides. And the Marlies now know that the time is ticking. They need to try to regain possession and just do whatever they can to score a goal.
Drop back as in come the Marlies. It's Stark carrying it forward. Lost it in the neutral zone, and then it's backhanded in deep once again. Stark will chase after it, forechecking here. But out and away will come the Rebels. Long pass ahead, in behind the net, a centering try, and a good defensive play made there to break that play up. And now Stark has it onto the attack. Here's Matthias Stark driving the lane. Stark tried to center, but had that picked off. Stark battling for it in behind the goal once again. Now it's sent to the line. Long shot. That dribbles wide. Smith after it here. Carries it to the corner. Smith to the line. Into the middle. Here's Drennan holding on. Backhand try. Rebound loose in the slot. Grabbed and held by Juicy.
And Daniel Juicy coming up huge as it was Drennan there forced to his backhand on that sequence. Witowski rather. Just was forced to the outside by this Rebels defense, and it's what Oliver Turner can do to you using his big frame and his four-way mobility will just make it more difficult for you to find the reads you're looking for.
Puck sent back to the line on the face-off. A long shot ramps up and out of play.
A lot of stoppages in this period as we're now not even halfway through, but just continuing on, and Joseph Cotterin scored the latest goal for the Marlies, being trusted on the offensive zone face-off. That was a player that can really get under the opposition's skin, as we've seen already tonight.
As the Marlies win the draw, turning with it now, sent up top for Sabatini, but he lost the puck. Out with it come the Rebels. Nice move, cutting through the middle. The centering pass broken up in the slot. The rebound comes to the side of the net. Now it's cleared to the line for a quick shot, and that one didn't get through the traffic. Along the boards. Holding on to it now comes that.
And they just continue right now, and overall it's been quite the start here for the Rebels generally. They've allowed the Marlies to gain some momentum, but that's just going to happen because of score effects as they break the puck back in once again. Left Katzen going after it.
Here's Katzen in the corner. Katzen stops up behind the net. Here's Katzen turning and shooting. Rebound loose. But it's cleared away here by the Rebels. Up ahead and into the offensive zone, but they're turned back. Comes to behind the goal now. Drop back into the corner. And now with it come the Marlies now. Fanning on that pass. And now in again come the Rebels. Long pass ahead. Here's a chance for Aiden Lane stepping in. Lane centers, shot, and that just bounced wide.
That was great work there by Aiden Lane just to protect the puck and tried to feed that through, but wasn't able to get the shot on net.
Whistle goes, a penalty call upcoming here against the Rebels. As the Marlies, who are 0 for 2 so far on the man advantage, will get another chance here to get back into this game.
As we see the players skating to the penalty box. Right now, it looks like it is Braden Van Gelder, but they'll take the chance that they've now been given as limited time remains, and they'll do whatever they can now. William Moore taking the draw. We mentioned how great he was on the latest power play. He's going to have to be great again out there with Jeremy Martin.
Puck flicked down the ice. Nelson will step out to play it.
And it's just Delalche right now going back as they burst to the speed in the neutral zone.
Here's Stark turning with it. Stark up to the line for Delalche. Delalche walks in, fires! That's blocked. Moore now. Moore holds. Stops up. Now he's pushed back towards the line. Here's Moore, holds and shoots, and that's blocked. And now out the other way. Here come the Rebels, short-handed. It's an odd man rush on the wing, cutting into the middle. And that bounced right through the crease and out the other way. Out now, at the other end, here come the Marlies, cutting through, drop back pass, Katzen fires. That's deflected up and out of play.
And Lev Katzen there, coming off the left flank, drives to the middle of the ice and makes a smart read on that 3-on-2 to make himself open for the drop pass off of the feed from Moore, and Lev Katzen ends up generating a higher quality shot. That's just a smart read from number 33. That's why a lot of OHL teams will be desiring him come the OHL draft in the spring.
Marlies win the draw again, sent down to the corner, a centering try, and that one right through the slot area. No one could get a stick on it. Drajewska onto the near side, back up for Drajewska. Again to the wing, shot, glove down, the rebound loose for a moment, but Juicy again hangs on to keep this a 2-goal game.
And we're seeing a lot of players crashing the net there. Whistle blown once again, and let's get ourselves set back up for the face-off. Still 49 seconds of power play time remaining for this Marlies squad.
Moore waved out of the draw here, so Marlies will have to try a different combination. And they win it back. Turning with it is Drajewska. Drajewska dropped it off to the wing, down now to the corner. That bounced over a stick. Now it's down low behind the net once again. Sent up top, Drajewska. Drajewska to DiCarlo, back to Drajewska, one-timer! And that one went wide. Back up to the line again for Drajewska. Luke Drajewska drops it off. Sent to the middle. DiCarlo fires! Turned aside. Rebound to the side of the goal, and they couldn't jam that one through. Battle for it now along the corner. The Rebels bench protesting there. Not going to get anything here. Sent down to the corner again. Here's Caterin onto the side of the goal. And that shot turned aside. Dying seconds of the power play. DiCarlo fires! And that one ramps up and out. And the Rebels have killed off another Marlies power play.
And you're seeing a theme with the Marlies as they like to get shots from the point, whether they're looking for redirections or just open looks. And Daniel Justy's been prepared for that, allowing only 2 goals in this game thus far. Really great in terms of his vision through traffic and his crease movements. Does not overcommit and always seems to be in the right place at the right time.
Face-off is won by the Rebels on a bit of a scramble. Now it's sent across, and they'll go to the attack here. The long shot, that's blocked. Rebound comes out in front of it, front of the net, but it's turned back by the Rebels. Another chance in front of the goal. As the Rebels gain possession in the corner. Sent to the corner, and in behind the net. Oh, hard collision there as the Marlboro was taken down. No call coming. And now away with it comes Toronto. Trying to carry it through was Drennan, but lost it. And now it's sent into the corner, bounced away from Joe, but the Marlies recover again. Through the neutral zone. Rebels can't get it into the onto the attack. And now Joe has it. Joe dodges a check, but takes a hard hit after, and the Marlboros taking exception to that as Jason Joe was rocked in front of the benches. You can see tempers flaring as I think it was Leighton Lynn who stepped into his man. Tempers flaring here late in this period. It was Sean Costigan, and he's gonna start to head towards the penalty box, so we'll see what the damage is here. Looks like Costigan will head to the box, and Lev Katzen is in front of the penalty box here, and we'll see if he actually is going, and he is.
And we didn't even see the crowd getting fired up as well here at Herb Carnegie. Everybody's into it, and Jason Joe appeared to have his head down on that play. Just found himself getting collided. Leighton Lynn, a bit bigger in size, was able to just capitalize on an opportunity there, and both players heading to the box. It appears we'll just continue to wait here as everything gets sorted out, as we see the coaching staff on the Rebel side in terms of Adrian Lamonaco and his staff pointing his players in the direction, really just trying to understand what's happening right now as they continue their dialogue with the referee.
Seems the face-off will come back to the Rebels' end, and we will remain at 5-on-5 here, so it's coincidental penalties. We have to see if it's a major or a minor on this play. Both teams still conversing with the officials. You can see very vocal the coaching staff of these Rebels. And we're back as it's one back for Aiden Lane. Lane, sharp angle shot, and that one ramps up and out of play.
Yeah, Lane going for a bit too of a risky shot on that angle. He could have tried to cut maybe in going in down low and having some players get in front, but elected for that instead.
Sent back to the line for a long shot. Didn't get through. And now turning away with it, the Rebels will try and clear the zone. And this time they do. It's going to go all the way down. But not enough on the play for icing. And now the Rebels have possession in front of the net. And that just bounced off the stick in front of the net. Van Gelder. Drop back pass. And then it's sent up through center. Back with it again. And it's sent up along the right wing now. Martin stepping into his man there. Marlboros gain possession, and they'll try and get things going. Running out of time here to try and get back into this game. Down by 2 here in the third. Back with it, Strajewska. Strajewska sends it across. And now up ahead with it, here come the Marlies. Over the line, maybe an odd man rush. Trying to cut into the middle, sent down in front of the goal. And they can't convert on that chance. Sent ahead again. And over the line they come. Carried down towards the corner. Up the boards. Marlies have the extra attacker out here as they try and tie the game. Cleared out now. Maybe a chance into the attack. Come the Rebels. The net is empty. But unable to get it to the net there was Curtis Freeman. through the neutral zone. Here comes Toronto. It's Drajewska poking it down to the corner. Drajewska, he's under pressure there. Trying to hold it in as Katerin, and he does. Katerin sends it out in front of the goal, and that's turned aside. Now back up to the line, a long shot. Bounces away to the corner, a sharp angle try. And that one doesn't get through. Here's Stark. Stark with a sharp angle shot. And that one turned aside and held as time ticks down here in the third period.
The Marlies are just putting whatever they can on the net. Joseph Katerin had scored in that angle late in the second, attempted it again right there from outside the face-off dot. Just firing shots for rebounds or deflections, and same with Matthias Stark on the other end, but it was not enough now as we see a timeout called, and the Marlies will drop a scheme.
And if you are head coach Richard Bauer of the Toronto Marlboros, what are you saying to them on the bench here as they try to overcome a 2-goal deficit late in the third?
Well, the key is just winning the face-off, so having your wingers close the gap and trying to assist your centerman in that process, and just setting up formation in quick succession. So getting the puck out, you want Nolan Turnbull on the ice because of the way he can read the play, and just getting bodies in front of the net. You need to screen Daniel Giusti because you know if you give him open looks, he'll make the stop and there will not be rebound control. So it's just about knowing your opponents and how to get the best of them.
And what about on the bench of the Mississauga Rebels? This is a team that is looking to take the lead in this series, and they're just about a minute away. What are you saying to them as they try and hold on?
Well, you want to have your reliable players on the ice. So I think it's someone like David Duchâtelet, who's been known to be using penalty killing and key defensive situations. I think you'll see him. Ethan Chada is skating out, so he'll be on the ice to take the critical draw. He's known for his two-way ability as well. And we see Mikhail Tissier out there. Just force the play into the boards as much as you can, and if you have an opportunity, get it out and kill off the time so you can secure the victory.
As the Marlies take it ahead, force it down to the corner, and that ramps up out of play. So we'll get a face-off here, and it's going to stay in the Rebels' end. So we'll start it all over again. An important face-off again here for William Moore. As we're ready for the face-off. And the Marlies win it back. Lane sends it across. Long shot there. Didn't get through the traffic. Rebound bounces around in the slot. And unable to convert there is Toronto. Smith forces it down to the corner. We're in the final minute now. Carried out to the front of the net by Lane. And he's turned aside. A race for the puck now. And Lane will regroup now at center. Here's Smith. Smith pokes it ahead. Up the boards and into the corner. In behind the net now. Bouncing puck, and it's cleared out to center. Time running out here for the Marlies. Empty net, 6-on-5. Matthias Stark starts things up. Up the boards comes Stark. Stark carries it ahead. Puck bounces to the line, and now it's ahead. Maybe a chance to seal the deal. The backhand try on the empty net is blocked into the middle. What a play! Matthias Stark dives across to save the empty net goal. And a man now down in behind the net for the Rebels, as I didn't see what happened on that play.
Some conversations occurring now between Lev Katzen and the Rebels player, as that falling Rebel was able to get off and is now limping towards the bench, and
Trying to see the number here to determine.
appears it is Michael Deck who is limping to the bench there, number 28. He'll skate off, scored 2 goals for them. Not what you like to see.
Still lots of discussion going on between these two teams. And they try to sort out what just happened there. Just a few seconds to go in this game, and the Marlies will be going to the penalty kill. They'll be forced to put their goaltender back in, and that's probably all she wrote for this game, as the Rebels will just look to hang on to a 2-goal lead for the final few seconds of this game with the man advantage. Marlies win the draw. Delelche has it. And as the Marlies clear it down the ice, that's just about gonna do it. As the Mississauga Rebels take game 1 over the Toronto Marlboros in round 2 of the GTHL playoffs. It's a 4-2 victory for Mississauga.
And for the Rebels, they had to battle through adversity early. And they allowed an early one to Matthias Stark, and it seems like they were collapsing defensively a bit. But from about the 10-minute mark of the first period on, they really just found their game and overall were able to neutralize the Marlies in an effective way. They were generating rush chances, generating rebound chances, just playing the way you want to play. And they might not necessarily have the exact same skill throughout their lineup, but they play as a team and really just deploy a great system. You have to give a lot of credit to head coach Adrian Lamonaco as well.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us for the GTHL playoff action. We'll be back for game 2. Jaden Ho for Jordan Jacklin. Thank you for joining us.